Stop making these mistakes when talking to a man. As a woman in the dating world, it can be difficult to navigate conversations with men. However, there are certain mistakes that should be avoided in order to ensure successful and respectful communication. Here are the mistakes that you should never make while talking to a man. Number 1. Do not interrupt. First, try not to interrupt or talk over a man during a conversation. This may come from a desire to prove your worth or showcase your knowledge, but it can come across as disrespectful and diminish your credibility. When engaging in conversation with a man, it's important to remember to allow them the opportunity to finish their thoughts without interruption. Not only is interrupting rude and disrespectful, but it can also present a barrier to effective communication. Additionally, interrupting can be perceived as trying to overpower or dominate the conversation. Instead, actively listen to what the other person has to say, and wait for a pause or natural break in the conversation before speaking. Showing that you value their insight and contributions will lead to more productive and respectful communication. It's also important to avoid assuming that you know what they are going to say or belittling their opinions. Allow them the space to share their thoughts without making judgments or assumptions. By following these steps, conversations with men can flow smoothly while fostering mutual respect. Number 2. Apologizing too much. Another mistake is falling into the trap of apologizing too much, even for things that are not your fault. Apologizing constantly can weaken your authority and make you appear insecure. When talking to a man, it's important to avoid apologizing unnecessarily. Not only does it make you appear insecure, but it can also diminish your own power and worth in the conversation. Instead of constantly saying "I'm sorry," try reframing your statements with phrases such as "thank you for understanding" or "thank you for being patient with me." It conveys the same message without making yourself seem insecure or submissive. Furthermore, if a mistake is made, discuss how it can be resolved instead of repeatedly apologizing. This shows that you are taking responsibility without undermining yourself in the process. Remember, apologizing too much in a conversation with a man can significantly weaken your position and impact the way he perceives you. So use apologies sparingly and focus on finding solutions rather than fixating on the mistake itself. Number 3. Just talking about yourself. When talking to a man, it's important to remember that the conversation should not be all about you. While sharing personal experiences can be a great way to connect with someone, make sure to also ask about their interests and experiences. This shows that you are genuinely interested in getting to know them as an individual rather than just talking about yourself. Similarly, avoid making assumptions or jump to conclusions about the person based on their gender. Instead, actively listen and ask questions in order to truly understand who they are as a person. Overall, making an effort to genuinely get to know the man you're talking to will result in a much more fulfilling and enjoyable interaction for both parties. Number 4. Asking too many questions. When interacting with men, it's important to avoid the mistake of overwhelming them with too many questions. Asking a few pointed questions can be helpful in getting to know them better and having a meaningful conversation, but an interrogation-style approach can make a man feel defensive and uncomfortable. Additionally, try not to constantly interrupt or cut off the man while he's speaking. Allow him the opportunity to fully express his thoughts and feelings before giving your own input. And finally, avoid making assumptions about a man based on gender stereotypes or past experiences. Each person is unique and should be treated as such. By keeping these tips in mind, you can have a positive and respectful interaction with any man. What are your thoughts on it? Share with us in the comments down below. With this, we would like to end this video, with the hope that you liked and enjoyed it. If you like our content, make sure that you like our video.